Hello, good morning. Our first issue is United Nations Security Council's resolution on Afghanistan. Recently, Resolution 2593 was passed. It was not put for the voting, but 13 countries out of total 15 UNSC members have agreed for this resolution. Two countries, that is Russia and China, they have abstained from this particular resolution. So this resolution is sponsored by UK, France and USA. These two countries which form part of P5. P5 is permanent five countries which are USA, China, France, Russia and UK. These out of these countries, three countries sponsored this resolution and two abstained from this resolution. Russia and China says that this resolution is brought up hurriedly and it is not fixing any responsibility on the USA with regard to Afghanistan's current situation. And then blocking financial resources to Afghanistan is not mentioned in this resolution. These are the arguments of Russia and China. But this resolution says that the Taliban should be committed and they should not allow any terror group to operate in the soil of Afghanistan. And they also asked in this resolution to assist the safe evacuation of all Afghan nationals who want to leave the country. These are two important points of the resolution. Russia and China, they have abstained from this particular resolution. Next issue is GDP growth rate of India. For this quarter, first quarter of 2021 and 22, GDP growth rate is 20.1%. And this one is huge as compared to minus 24.4% contraction in the last year, same quarter, that is first quarter. But the economic activity, overall GDP production remains low compared to the pre-pandemic levels. That means this 20% growth rate is because of the base. As the base, that is last quarter's growth, is negative, even a small positive, small change in this year that shows as a huge growth. This effect is known as base effect. This is due to the base effect. Next issue, Afghanistan's membership in SARC. Afghanistan's membership in SARC. SARC, South Asian Association for Regional Cooperation. Afghanistan was admitted into SARC as an 8th member in 2007 when this country was under President Hamid Karzai. Over the years, it has been included in many of the SARC groupings. But now, as the Taliban don't have the legitimacy, will they be part of SARC or not? This has now remained as a question. But overall, SARC as a group, it has a less effectiveness in the recent years. Yes, we are coordinating with regard to vaccines and vaccine diplomacy, but then due to conflict of India and Pakistan, this group has been not much effective. Next issue is China-Myanmar New Passage. This is the transport corridor similar to CPEC, China-Pakistan Economic Corridor. Similar to that, it is part of One Belt One Road. This connects China and Myanmar. And there is a railway line from Myanmar's border to the commercial hub of Western China, that is Chengdu. So this provides new rail road transport channel to the Indian Ocean region. It skips if something has to be transported to China, it has to go through Strait of Malacca in case of maritime trade. But now, through land route, China can avoid this choke point. This transport corridor involves sea, rail and road link. This passage connects logistics lines of Singapore, Myanmar and China, and it is considered most convenient land and sea linking with the Indian Ocean with the southwestern part of China. So already Chinese planners, they have built the Gwadar Port. Gwadar Port in Pakistan is a key outlet to Indian Ocean. It also helps China to skip through the passage to the Strait of Malacca. So in this context, under One Belt One Road, this particular infrastructural corridor has been built. Next issue is overseas settlement of G securities. RBI is planning to enable international settlements of transactions in G securities. As of now, G security transaction is done through the domestic securities only. Now, RBI is planning to bringing it at the international level. One, it helps one for the non-residents to access the G securities market. Two, Indian G securities market now will be placed at the global level. So it will be included in the global bond indices. So in these two ways it helps. That's why RBI is planning to enable international settlement of transactions in G securities. Next, let us understand the editorials. First one is Taliban's victory in Afghanistan. Pakistan is the first country on August 15th to congratulate Taliban of their capture of Kabul and the entire Afghanistan. So the implications of Taliban rule in Afghanistan are not clear as of now. They are saying we are moderate now, but still there are many contraventions. ISIS-K is getting stronghold in Afghanistan. It is conducting many terror attacks. So in this context, there's more chaotic and lawless situation in Afghanistan. How this will turn out, how this impacts India's security and regional country security has to be seen. Next issue is middle class and policy priority. The lower income groups, middle class and higher income groups. COVID has impacted everyone. Government in its fiscal stimulus packages, it has announced the many measures to mitigate the negative impact of COVID-19 on the economy, especially that helps the poorest sections of the society. Already high income groups, they have the buffer as a cushion to address this crisis. So who are left now? Middle class. So middle class, they are left now. So without strong middle class, consumption patterns in India, they go down, demand go down. That will negatively affect the economic growth. In this context, middle class also needs to be kept in mind while going for any of such policies. Next issue is BRICS. Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa. So BRICS countries, to making the BRICS countries stronger. Third BRICS summit is going to be held in India at September 9th in a virtual format. India is going to hold the chairmanship. It is a plurilateral group consisting Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, and each year one country takes the turn. This year India is the chair, next year China would be the chair, like that. Now India has already chaired in 2012 once, 2016 also. This is the third time. This group represents 42% of world's population, 30% of land area, 24% of global GDP, 16% of international trade. And it has developed common perspective on many of the regional and global issues. It established a new development bank. It created financial stability in the form of contingency reserve buffers. So these are important achievements of BRICS grouping. But now there are few things that we have to consider. One, this group has to vigorously promote the reforms in multilateral institutions such as UN, World Bank, IMF, WHO, etc., combating terrorism, promoting the technological and digital solutions for sustainable development goals, making internal trade balance. For example, India and China. India has huge trade imbalance with regard to China. So trade balance, making balanced trade balance or making the trade balance better. These have to be the goals of BRICS now. Our final issue is protecting the natural resources. In many of the places, not just in few states, but in many states, natural resource protection has become a priority now because of the crisis that we are facing, because of natural resource depletion, climate change, global warming, etc. In this context, Meghalaya, which is home to one of the highest rainfall receiving places, this particular state is also facing crisis in terms of natural resource depletion. In this context, Meghalaya has recently started Center for Excellence in Meghalaya. This is a one-stop center for natural resource management. Its mandate is, one, to build the leadership capabilities to enable cooperation among the departments, to democratize the assets to knowledge, to continue the research and development in natural resource development, involvement of community, taking into consideration the traditional knowledge. These are all the things that this Center for Excellence is going to take up. These are the issues for today. Thank you very much. All the very best.